Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Moscow, and today is the bootleg versus original version video. Today I want to show you the difference between the original version of the Neca 30th anniversary Jungle Hunter Unmasked version versus the same exact version but the bootleg version. The right is the real and the left is the bootleg version. Also, today there is an AliExpress version which you can currently find, and it is pretty simple to identify. Here will be a picture of this fake version. I tell fake because it is exactly the copy of the original toy, and the bootleg version is just a bad original version which didn't pass a QC control by Neca, I believe. So this is my opinion. Okay, let's watch for the figures more closely. As you can see, the original version has the hook which looks to the right, and the bootleg version has a hook which looks to the left. This is the first difference. Then we also can see that the printing on the original is very clear. The contrast is very good. You can see all the details. And the fake version has much more blurred printing, bad contrast. You can see all the details. Here's the picture of the predator without mask. You can see all the details, his eyes, his teeth. And here's the bootleg version, much more blurred. On the original you can see these little stripes on the lower part of the writings. Here you can see it. And on the bootleg version there is no such lines. They are much more blurred and you can't see them. Also, on the original version the red foil is much darker, and on the bootleg version it is much brighter. You can see, as you can see. Okay, and as in my previous bootleg versus real videos, the Predator logo is much more elevated, and on the real version it is not elevated at all. Okay, let's see on the side of the box. Yes, definitely difference. Right is the real, left is the bootleg version. Here's the top of the box. So much white stripes on the original version, no whitings on the bootleg version. Original is on the right, fake is the left. Many white stripes, no white stripes. Very much clear printing, very blurred version. and this side of the box. Right is the real, left is the bootleg version. You can see how much it is blurred. Okay, some focus. You can see these stripes here. Almost no striping in this version. Okay, top is the real, bottom is the fake version, bootleg version. You can see that on the real Toys logo has no white insert inside the letterings. There is whites inside the Real Toys on the bootleg version. No space between R and T in Predator here. There is a big space here. And this one is in another font. The 20th anniversary logo is much more square on the bootleg version, and this is much more narrow, as you can see. So we can definitely tell that the box on the bootleg version is the fake one. Absolutely. Okay, now I'll open these boys and we'll look on the blister. Okay, here they on blisters. We can see blister protection 51557 on the bootleg version, and the same exact number 51557. Yes, exactly the same number. So I believe the blister is the original. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here are our boys out of packaging. Okay, let's start from the accessories. Here are the hands. Right is the real, left is the bootleg version. No minor difference, I can see. A little bit darker color on the original. You can see it on its thumb. Otherwise, just the same. Then let's look on the plasma caster. Pretty much the same color. A little more weathering on this version. As you can see. But pretty much the same exact color and the quality. Okay, no real difference. Let's look on the skulls. Right is the real, left is the bootleg. A little more weathering on the original version. But I looked on 3 real versions. The weathering on all 3 specimens was different. So it's not the main point where you should look. Otherwise, the same exact accessory. No real big difference. Okay, let's move on to our heroes. Right is the real, left is the bootleg. So what we can say? On the real one, the eyes are looking straight. On the fake version, the left eye of the figure is done perfectly, but the right eye looks a little bit upwards. Otherwise, just the same quality. I can say that the varnish is a little much more on the original version than on the bootleg version. And I can't say if the camera shows that, but this tone is a little more silver, and this one is on the bootleg version much more bronzish color. Otherwise the same. I can't see any big difference at this moment. A little more weathering on the skirt of the original version, and a little more brighter color of the skirt on the bootleg version. This stripe on the thigh is much wider, not much, but wider on the original, and is not so wide on the bootleg. Here's the paint on its feet. Pretty much the same. On this side. Okay. Here is the blades. Can't see the difference. Perhaps this version is a little bit darker than the bootleg version. Okay, let's turn the hand to compare. Right is the real, left is the bootleg. We can see that the bootleg version has much more dark color on the center of the hand. The original version doesn't have this. I like the paint job on the bootleg version more. Let's see the self-destruction mechanism. Okay, let's open it. Here you can see that there is much more weathering on the original, and not so, and there is no weathering on the bootleg version. It is pretty much clean. Let's see for the countdown. Pretty much the same. The same exact numbers. I can see. Here's the left hand of the figures. Pretty much the same. And the same writings on their feet. Let's watch these figures on their backs. Some strikes, paint strikes on silver on the bootleg version. Otherwise the same exact paint job. Okay, so what can I tell? Now I'm totally sure that both of these variants are originals, but this one, which is real, I think it was under the QC control by Neca, and it is a licensed production. and this one is without this QC control by Neca. And I believe they just used some remaining molds, so they used perhaps another paint, another varnish styling. Also there is some QC issues with the assembly. For example, here you can see a gap between his forehead and the upper jaw, and the original version doesn't have such a big gap. Minor little QC issues on the bootleg version. Okay, what about price? This figure cost me triple price than this one, this bootleg version. So if you want to have an original, but you are alright if it is a bootleg or real version, licensed version, I can say, you may save your money and definitely buy this one. Because as you can see, there is no issues in his jaws, his mandibles, and today I have 3 versions of this original toys in my hands, and 2 others had issues in his mandibles. I could see that, for example, this mandible was much bigger than the left, and on the other figure, again, this mandible was bigger than the right. So I was lucky, and the third variant has pretty straight mandibles. Okay, so this was Andrew. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.